Hello and welcome to HP Business Technology Optimization. If you have been watching what's going on at Hewlett-Packard over the past couple of years, you've seen a lot of investment that HP has made within the field of software. It's an exciting time to be at HP, and if you've been a part of HP software, you may still be wondering what's going on, and if you haven't been directly a part of the organization, I want to take the time today to just share the vision that we have and how we're really connecting that to the overall story within HP. So we'll talk a little bit about that today, and if we have some questions at the end, we'll review through those. One of the things that we have to face today is the fact that our customers have a huge challenge that they're facing out there. And it's nothing unusual. We're facing the same challenge ourselves. It's things like, how do we improve our business processes? If we look at ourselves internally, we are constantly churning to make sure that we're doing things in the right fashion to both get the kind of productivity we want, the kind of cost control we want. So we're really working on the processes. We're looking at how to attract and retain the customers that we have taken 50 plus years to build into our company. So that's critical for us, and as well, how to create those competitive products and services that we can offer to all of our clients out there. Now, at the same time that we're trying to do these wonderful things out there, we're facing some big challenges to try and meet those goals. Things like application growth. I think you've seen, even within HP's IT infrastructure, we've had huge growth in applications over the many years we've been a company, to the point where we had 6,000 applications. How do you control that? How do you shrink that back down? The other thing that you look at is that along with those applications that were growing, you had a huge infrastructure explosion. More and more server components, storage components, network infrastructure, all of that has to underlie that, including the software components that are out there as well. And then finally, controlling the cost, because as all of that grows, there's a huge cost in terms of just maintaining that. We've had some earlier presentations that Paul Mantee did for you that talked about how we can get that under control, how successful HP has been, but I'll also share with you how well our customers have done at doing some of that. So let's talk about those things. And what should we be doing in the meantime to address those challenges that we're facing? Oops, let's go back one slide. And so what we're really looking at is a transformation overall. When you look at the IT transformation, there's a couple of things that we want to be able to do. We want to free up some of the capital for innovation. If we're spending so much time maintaining our organization, maintaining our infrastructure and our business, we're not able to be innovative. We've just had some great ideas that we've shared with our customers in terms of innovation, was making the data that is out there in running our business available through things like the iPhone. You can't believe how excited CIOs will be when they see that they can actually see all of this on a device they're using on a daily basis. I go through the airports and we go to customers and you see lots of people using this new technology. And if HP is not investing in providing great solutions to our customers through the latest technology, we're missing the boat. So that's one of the things that we really want to help them drive. We want to be able to improve the IT-enabled business processes, make sure that everything we're doing is helping their business go forward. Great commercials, you know, some of our competitors do out there, and I don't like to name the competitors, but you've seen them. I saw one commercial where you had a number of people sitting around a big conference table, and the executive walks in and says, "Why are we here today?" And everybody sits around and looks at him and says, "Well, we're here about shirts." And, you know, these are all IT people. And he says, "What, you want more shirts from the vendors?" And they said, "No, we make shirts." And the bottom line was that this business, who is in the clothing and apparel business, got so lost in their IT issues, they forgot what the primary goal of the business was, which was delivering product to customer. We have to enable our customers, our clients, to be equally successful, to remember what their key business is, and make IT an enabler to help them get that out the door. In improving the business continuity, you cannot afford downtime. We've had situations. A few years ago, I was working with a major airline who decided to do a fire sale over a key weekend. They wanted to offer prices on flights at a super cheap level. They ran everything out through marketing. They got everything set up on their website, and in the middle of the fire sale, servers began crashing. They had to start outsourcing that immediately. Do you know what the cost of that was in terms of their profitability that they expected back, right? We have to make sure that our customers never face those business continuity issues. And finally, being agile. One of the things that we've seen in terms of ourselves, and you're seeing it today with lots of mergers and acquisitions, is how do you continue to be agile, provide great service to your customers, deliver the greatest products integrated together. In fact, you've seen probably the slides and the presentation about the Lego model, right? Integrated by design. How does HP do it? We want to share that same capability with our clients to be successful. That's the kind of challenges that our customers are facing, that we've faced. Let's talk about how HP is actually doing that. When we begin to look at what's happening in that IT space, there are some key things that are happening. People really divide themselves up into three areas in the business in terms of delivering an IT service to the client. There's a strategy area where people are deciding what they should be doing. There's lots of new technology concepts out there. Things like service-oriented architectures, SOA, things like virtualization. We have to put a good strategy forward to be successful in delivering the IT service to the customer. But what we'll see is that 54% of the time, it will wind up reducing the scope of an IT project because of project delays. And you know, unfortunately, what the most frequent area is? It's testing. We see that internally sometimes within our own company, is the fact that let's just throw the project out there earlier so we can make our deadline, and hey, we've got a lot of people who wear HP badges who can do the testing for us. That's not the right way to do it. So we need to be very careful in building out the strategy. What are we looking for in terms of success? What kind of resources? What are the requirements? All of that has to be built in the strategy area before you ever toss it over the fence into the guys who are actually going to build that. That's that next area, that's applications. Those folks need to be very carefully analyzing what the requirements were, then being able to build to that set of requirements, do the official testing. Testing not just things like the availability of the application, the quality of it, but the performance and as well the security. Those are critical things that we have to be able to meet. And if we're not doing that, you're going to see lots of failures. And in fact, you'll note on the side, it says 80% of the issues in production are self-inflicted. We let software go out into our production environment, never having tested it, and what happens? We see failures. We see, business continuity issues. We've got to get that under control before it ever hits the production environment, because that costs us money. It is a whole lot cheaper to fix those problems back in the design phase and the test and the build phase than it is when it gets out into production. We really have to be working on that. And then finally, there's the operations area. This is day-to-day what we depend upon. When you go out there, and I don't know how many of you are familiar with the whole concept of IT service management, but an IT service is something that we use on a regular basis. One of my favorite stories, which you guys haven't heard before, but I tell it all the time, is the fact how many of you have cable TV or satellite TV, right? I assume you're all paying for it. HP is developing a new tool to test for that. But the concept is, when you walk in the house at the end of the day, you pull out your favorite beverage and you sit down and you're going to turn on the TV and watch your favorite program, and you get nothing but snow. Do you really care if it's a broken router, a broken server, a broken cable? No, I want my MTV, right? I mean, that's the whole concept here. You are a subscriber to a service. You have a service level expectation. That's what operations is all about, is delivering to that promise every single day, 24/7, or whatever you agreed to in your contract. And so what we're seeing is that 70% of our budgets, and if you've watched some of these previous presentations that we've done, 70% of our budget is going to just basically maintenance. That's a really bad ratio to be able to deliver to somebody. We need to fix that model. So these are some of the problems. And what comes out of all of this is that 50% of the IT initiatives are failing to deliver. I mean, that's lousy. If you go out there and you look, for example, at CIO magazine and what the top 10 issues are for CIOs, the thing that you realize is that every year we're seeing the same things pop up in that top 10 issues. And not just HP, but all of our competitors. If we were doing a good job, shouldn't something be dropping off that list? And if we're not part of making that happen for our customers, we're going to be really losing market share. So I want to see HP recognize that. And I think it's one big effort for all of us as a team. Everyone within TSG to band together, our PSG brethren, IPG, let's work towards a common solution to do that. And that's why HP and Mark Hurd has made some significant investments here. Now, what can we do for our clients when we're talking about this? If you look at that model that we had, which had strategy, applications, and operations, there's a top level up there, which is our business objectives. That's the things like we're looking at driving greater revenue, reducing our costs. If you